The cat stares at him all night. He checks the hidden camera and discovers why. Every pet has its own habits. In this story, the cat used to stare at the father of the family at night. The man found this very strange and discovered the reason thanks to hidden camera footage. Watch the video to find out why the cat was doing this. Danielle and his cat Muffins. Danielle always knew Muffins was a strange cat. He adopted him as a kitten, and Muffins already had his own habits like any other pet. But one of the strangest was staring at his owner all night long. When he finally discovered why the cat was doing this, he was truly shocked. Muffins had been living in the house for 4 years and felt very comfortable. Danielle's children loved him, enjoyed cuddling him, and often fell asleep with him. Muffins had become another member of the family. However, when the father discovered something strange about Muffins, he began to have doubts about the animal. It was a beautiful Friday afternoon, and Danielle was free that day. He went home to run some errands and then returned. When he arrived, he saw Muffins walking in the yard. The animal had something in his mouth. It was a mouse. Danielle felt relieved when he discovered it. It is normal for cats to catch mice, and it is also very useful. Almost all cats do it, and owners are usually happy about it. The man continued on his way and was not worried about the cat. Days passed, and Danielle forgot that Muffins was catching mice. However, each night, he had trouble breathing. This was nothing new since he had suffered from asthma since childhood. Sometimes he even woke up in the middle of an attack. For that reason, he always made sure to have an inhaler within reach. He had seen many doctors and specialists, but none of them could truly help him. He had to learn to live with the condition, which wasn't easy. As a child, for example, he couldn't participate in tournaments. He wasn't allowed to do too much physical activity and always had to monitor his breathing. Of course, when Danielle grew up, he couldn't smoke, and he had to ensure not to be a passive smoker either, although this was not an easy task. However, ever since Muffins came into the house, his breathing problems had worsened. One morning, he woke up early because he was suffocating. His wife was still asleep, so he got up on his own to get a glass of water. As he was about to leave the room, he saw Muffins sitting in a chair, staring at him oddly. Danielle went to the kitchen anyway, and didn't think much about the strange incident. The next day, he had even forgotten about the peculiar behavior of the animal. But he was soon reminded when another morning, he woke up and saw the same unusual scene. Muffins was watching him again, sitting on the chair and observing him without moving. Why was the cat behaving so unusually? The feline followed Danielle's every move with his eyes. He decided to approach him and pet him, also asking why he was up so early. Muffin's behavior was becoming disturbing, and Danielle wanted to know more about it. The following morning, as he was having breakfast and Muffins lay in his daughter's arms watching TV, Danielle had a strange feeling in his stomach. He thought about those recent days and still didn't understand the erratic attitude of the pet. This had already become a habit, and Danielle didn't feel comfortable at all. He also didn't like the idea of the strange cat being so close to his children. Amid so many doubts, he suddenly had an idea. He jumped out of his chair, grabbed the car keys and his wallet, said goodbye to his family, and left. He went straight to a store. The father decided to buy a night vision camera, exactly what he needed to get answers. When he got home, he started working on it. He carefully placed the camera behind a book and couldn't wait to see how it would work. When it was finally time to sleep, he tucked the girls into bed and then went to his own room. On his way to the bedroom, he saw Muffins in the hallway. The cat looked at Danielle again with his green eyes and stood there as if waiting for a particular moment. Nevertheless, if that moment came again, the man would have everything documented. That's why he wasn't too worried. He kissed his wife and quickly fell asleep. When he woke up hours later, his first thought was about the hidden camera. He wanted to know what it had recorded and feared the worst. Would he have to kick Muffins out of the house? He also felt a lot of tension about the possible answer. The entire family loved this cat, and it would be terrible if he turned out to be dangerous. After saying goodbye to his daughters, who were heading to soccer practice, he rushed to the room and grabbed the device. Meanwhile, Muffins kept watching Danielle, but all he could think about was the recording. He carefully closed the bedroom door and removed the memory card. He inserted it into his computer and opened the folder containing the video. Danielle was very excited and worried at the same time. He truly hoped to discover something because he felt very uncomfortable. He would finally know what his cat was doing at night. During the first few hours of recording, There was nothing special to see. The footage showed the couple sleeping and occasionally moving to find a more comfortable position. He began fast-forwarding the video when, suddenly, Muffins appeared on the screen. He was amazed by the cat's posture. The animal stood at the edge of the bed. Danielle was desperate to know what would happen next. He was very close to the truth and eager to obtain it. The footage showed Muffins slowly walking toward Danielle and then climbing on top of him while he was sound asleep. The man couldn't imagine the cat doing such a thing. Meanwhile, Muffins moved closer and closer to Danielle's face. What did this cat want from him? As he approached Danielle's face, Muffins sat comfortably on his nose and mouth before stretching out entirely. The man couldn't believe what he was seeing and suddenly understood everything. That's why he had trouble breathing at night and sometimes woke up coughing. The cat lay on his face. Danielle was truly relieved that this was the reason. He paused the video and stood up. At that moment, Muffins slipped into the room. Danielle looked at him and smiled. He was no longer worried. The next morning, while having breakfast, he told his wife about the recording and the sleepless nights. She was also shocked, because she would never have expected this from their beloved and innocent kitten. However, she was very happy that Danielle finally had some answers, and that it wasn't as bad as he had feared. Muffins was a funny cat who meant no harm. He just wanted to be as close as possible to his owner. His wife told him that this was the animal's way of showing love, and Danielle agreed with her. His concerns had ended, and he felt at ease again. But if the result had been different, what would he have done? He didn't want to think too much about it and was happy that his cat wasn't evil. He just sought a little warmth and love from his family. After telling his wife the story, Danielle sat down to read the morning newspaper. Suddenly, he felt a scratching on his skin. Without looking, he already knew who it was. He turned around and saw none other than little Muffins. The cat looked at him, and Danielle knew exactly what it meant. He put the newspaper aside, approached the cat, and picked him up. He placed Muffins on his chest and began stroking him. Muffins lay silently and watched his owner. He started purring, and Danielle understood everything. The cat was in his favorite place, the spot where he secretly snuggled every night, unknowingly causing his owner's sleeplessness. We can see that animals, in their own way, make sure to have everything they need, even without being able to speak. Whether it's food, water, or love, they always know how to get it. What do you think about this story? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.